Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my workshop, and today I wanted to share with you a little trick that I had to come up with. How did I connect this piece of the bookshelf to the top by means of this metal pipes in such a way that not only is strong enough that you can sit on it, but it's also strong enough that I can pick the furniture by the top and it's not gonna get separated. So that's what I was going to talk about today. Okay, so let's see how we do it. So we have a pipe which is 1 inch and 1/16 of an inch, and we've got a dowel inside. In my case it's a 5/8, but you can use a thicker one. I just don't have one that would be thicker. And first we're going to drill the outer opening, which only needs to be 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, just to hide the edges. And now we're gonna swap the to 5/8, and in my case I'm not gonna set the depth stop, but because it's not a real thing, but just go about 70 to 80% thickness of the board. Just make sure you don't puncture the hole on the other side with the Forstner Beats hole. Okay, so now as you can see there's a inner 5/8 opening and the outer 1/16 in my case. So the pipe should be as close as possible to being square. It will just help you to, it's not a big deal if it's a little bit off, but it will just be easier for you to set it. Of course you want to do the math so that you've got the dowel deep enough inside of the wood so that it's holding it securely. Right, and let's look a little closer. So this is the leftover from the project, which I bought in Home Depot. It was just some sort of an extension tubing for hanging the lamp, ceiling fan or something. So so as I said before, try to cut it as square as possible, because it will help you to assemble it better, easier. And in my case, you can see there are 4 connections like I explained to you before, and there are just 3 skinnier tubings here, which basically prevent any compression. As I showed it to you before, I can pick it up the whole thing by the top. That's how strong these connections are. So now you know how this method works. Now the next question is, how do you connect this tubing, the upper piece and the lower piece, in such a way that each opening will be precisely where it's supposed to be? So that's the question. And again, the trick is very simple. First, we drill holes where they're supposed to be, the small holes and the larger holes in the lower portion of it. Then let's pretend that this is our lower portion. Let's pretend. So we've got an opening where it's all ready for gluing. Then just drill a tiny little hole, just enough for a small awl or a small nail to get through. So just drill a little hole there, and now let's pretend this is the bottom and this is the maple top. So we've got all 7 openings, right, and 7 little tiny holes at the bottom. Then we put it together. In my case it was flush at the back, and kind of like I evened it out on the sides the way I wanted it. Clamped it together, and using a nail, just basically through the tiny hole, you just mark where the holes are going to be. If you do everything right, it's going to be right where it's supposed to be, and the whole piece will assemble just perfectly. And you can see where I have these 3 little pipes. I have 3 little openings I never closed them, never used any patty because they basically are not visible. So that's the trick. And another advantage of this niche is that a child can stick things in. So there are literally, how many levels? Like one is under, because my kids put some stuff under. Then there is a bookshelf, there are drawers, and there is a space between the drawer and the top. So like 5 levels. So being a pretty small piece, it holds a lot of stuff. Alright guys, this is the end of my presentation, and I hope the video was helpful. Maybe I showed you something new, maybe I'll prompt you to do something differently or to do something different. That's basically was my goal, to open the horizons. And if you have any questions, comments, you can send them to me. And again, thanks for your attention and thanks for your time. Bye bye.